So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert. If this is your first time tuning in, so in today's video we're going to cover a question that often gets asked is if things are going up, if inflation continues to go up, if the dollar continues to devalue, what should we do, right? What should I do as a person? What should I do myself if I want to keep up and not get left behind? So a lot of people have these questions. A lot of people are wondering what should they do, and a lot of this stuff isn't taught in school, which of course not, right? We don't want everybody getting rich. That's what most people think, but that's what the people at the top think. You don't want everybody getting rich because you still need employees, you still need workers, right? Today I'm going to share what I'm currently doing to hopefully put myself in a good position. If things continue to go up, I won't get left behind. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Again, my name is Robert. If you gain any value from this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video. So the first one that comes off the top of my head is going to be gold. Gold is going to be the first one that I would personally buy. Again, I don't have any gold. I have some other assets, but gold is something that I am very much considering because it does typically go up with value, or as money starts to get cheaper, gold typically starts to go up. Or if the dollar starts to lose value, people usually start to flock to gold. So that's one reason I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards buying a little bit of gold. Maybe not putting everything into gold, but at least having some there, just in case. Because over the years that money has been a thing, gold has typically always held its value. It's typically gone up. Yes, it does have some years where it goes up and it goes down, but generally speaking, over the longevity of time, it's been going up. The next thing I would probably do myself is buy silver. I would buy silver. Silver, again, is not as valuable as gold, as most of you guys know, but it also has typically gone up in value as well. Again, back in the days before me and you were even alive, gold and silver tokens, coins, were used as trading chips, money back then, to purchase goods. So it's held its value. It's typically gone up. Now again, this stuff is mined out of the ground. Minerals are mined to make these coins and tokens, to make these coins. But again, gold and silver are not bad bets. The next thing I would probably consider too is collectibles. Collectibles typically do go up as prices or the dollar starts to come down. As prices go up or the dollar comes down, and that's gonna be things like art, collectible vehicles if you like cars, sometimes watches, and any other types of like memorabilia typically will go up because the dollar is getting less valuable. So typically people who have money are trying to flock into things that will go up in value, collectibles being one of them. Now, as far as memorabilia, that could be like a signed or autographed football, signed or autographed jersey, helmets, basketballs, baseballs, tennis rackets, you name it. Any of that stuff will probably hold some value. Again, these are just different ideas. Not everyone likes to buy gold, not everyone likes to buy silver, or not everyone's going to like to buy other things that I may talk about on my channel. So I'm just offering other ideas for people to look into, research, and see what is best for them. So another one that I would also consider is Bitcoin. I know a lot of people may agree with it or may not agree with it. We're still very early into the adoption of cryptocurrency, but chances are it's probably heading that way. Now again, Bitcoin is a digital currency or a digital store of value, however you want to look at it. You can transact in Bitcoin, but you can also store it. So there's different use cases for Bitcoin in that manner, I guess, in that way. Now the difference between Bitcoin and gold is that there's a finite supply. So there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin, versus with gold, you have an unlimited supply technically, because you can just go out and mine more gold. Now most gold is produced in third world countries, where they go and mine this stuff underground. But as long as gold prices keep going up, there's an incentive for mining companies to go and mine for more gold. So gold prices typically will go up, but probably not as sharp as Bitcoin, because again, Bitcoin has a fixed supply. There's only X amount of Bitcoin, versus gold can typically go up as the labor continues to increase for the mining of gold. Now again, it can be hacked if you don't know what you're doing. It can be hacked. But overall, Bitcoin has been trending up for the past 10-15 years that it's been in existence. Now again, not everyone wants to buy Bitcoin, not everyone knows how to buy Bitcoin, so there you have them, just giving different ideas of what you can buy. Now another one that I personally do own, but I am selling off most of them, not all of them, and that's going to be real estate. Real estate typically does go up with inflation or the devalue of the dollar. Everyone knows what happened after 2020. Prices started to just skyrocket. For a while there, it was a buyer's market. That's when I started to buy as well. My lowball offers were starting to get picked up. And then shortly after, we had a sharp recovery. So now everyone who bought properties at that time pretty much doubled or tripled their money very, very quickly, because there was so much money in circulation. Everyone is getting free checks, right? Everyone is getting these stimulus checks. So now everyone who had extra money was spending that extra money. Now all that extra money goes to the people who provide the most value. What do I mean by that? The people who are producing products, who are producing jobs, who are producing inventions, whatever. Think of like your Amazons, think of your pharmaceutical companies, think of your commerce stores, any of that stuff, housing. People are going to need places to stay. All that is still producing some type of value, so that's where the money's going to go. So again, anyone who was holding assets at that time, like real estate, their property values went up as well. So again, that's another way to kind of get ahead of the curve, get ahead of inflation, is to pick up some of those harder assets like that to keep up with the prices of things. Not everyone's incomes are increasing 2 or 3x like the way prices of goods are. So in order to get ahead of that, you need to buy things that are increasing in the same amount of value, and that's going to be assets. Now typically people think of cars as assets. There's a deer. That was a deer. But yeah, people think of cars as an asset. Depends how you look at it. Not really. It does go down in value. I think of an asset as something that is increasing in value, or sometimes even putting money into my pocket, cash flow, one or the other. Now a car can, I guess if you want to look at it as far as taking you to get a job, but generally speaking, it's not classified as an asset because you are paying on it. So I'll leave it up to your discretion. I don't consider it an asset, but it's up to you if you want to consider it an asset. Now again, those were just some of the assets that I have either considered or have bought myself. And I hope it was valuable information for you guys to research and to look into yourselves, see if any of these fit your needs, your goals. Again, just don't take my advice from it. Do your own research and make sure you understand what you're investing in. Make sure you understand the risk involved in buying any of these assets as well. So without further ado, be careful, be good, take care, God bless. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.